नमस्ते, आप सभी का बहुत-बहुत स्वागत है आज के 860th एपिसोड ऑफ डॉक्टर के मेड टॉक्स में। और मैं हूं आपकी होस्ट डॉक्टर आयुषी गुप्ता फ्रॉम द मेडिकल टीम ऑफ डॉक्टर के मेड टॉक्स। आज का हमारा टॉपिक है हाउ टू मेंटेन अ हेल्दी लाइफ इन अ मेट्रो। मेट्रो सिटीज जितनी अपॉर्चुनिटीज लेके आती है उतनी ही चैलेंजेस लेके आती है। देयर काफी सारी एक्साइटिंग चीजें लाइक जॉब, न्यू न्यू थिंग्स, न्यू लाइफस्टाइल, you know maybe big shopping complexes, lot of things that attracts people to the metros. But at the same time there are a lot of challenges like pollution, heavy traffic and extreme weathers and fast paced life. There are a lot of things that a individual needs to take care of while living in a metro. How to maintain their healthy life in this fast paced environment is what we are going to discuss today. So without any delay, let's go to our topic today: how to maintain a healthy lifestyle in a metro. And आज के हमारे स्पेशल गेस्ट हैं डॉक्टर सिद्धार्थ. He is here to discuss about his experience and his learning of living in Delhi NCR since a long period of time, and how does he guide his patients to live a healthy lifestyle. So welcome, doctor, to the platform. It's really nice to have you here.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. And hello, all of you. Hope everything is going great. And at evening 7, probably we are catching up when we are talking about the life in a metro. And that's what is the topic of today, coming from a popular Bollywood movie. But over here, probably we will be looking into the health aspects about how we spend a life in our metro.
That's true. So, firstly starting with, what are the biggest challenges? People always talk about the exciting things that metro bring along, when it comes to jobs or, fancy things there. But what are the kind of challenges that you see regularly with people who stay in a metro?
See, to keep it simple, if you ask me, the 3 basic needs of a human life is food, cloth, and shelter. Now, let us start dissecting it one by one. When we talk about shelter, see, shelter is something a place where we stay. Now, if you classically look into the metro city, not only in India, even abroad, the metro cities are classically considered to be places where we are paying a high end to the rents. And that's the reason we always try to either take a small place to stay or a far off place to stay. Now, each has its own demerits. A small place to stay. So basically, you are staying in an overcrowded place. Whether you are living as an individual or with your family, you're actually staying in an overcrowded place. Overcrowding has its own negative impacts, like it leads to spread of infectious diseases. Even the most common infectious disease, common cold, it will always spread if all the family members put up in a single room. To the biggest disease, probably tuberculosis. Second, overcrowding actually tries to put up a constraint on your time, what we call as me time or my space. So that is again going to impact your mental health. Now, the second aspect of staying far away is your travel time goes up. Now, when your travel time goes up, you actually spend up almost more than the time which was productive in actually traveling to and fro. And if you talk about metros like Delhi, Bangalore, in Bangalore, it's so popular when we say that probably people at Bangalore are making apps so that the food gets delivered in 30 minutes, but you cannot reach your office in 30 minutes. And that's actually true, which consumes your quality time. So this is the first problem I'll say where comes with shelter. Now let's look into cloth. Now see, when you talk about your cloth, it is something which I'm putting it on my skin. Now, the moment you are going to travel for a very long distance, you are ensuring that you are carrying a lot of organisms. You are carrying a dirty linen, which you will sweat, which is a normal human phenomenon. So the cloths are going to get dirty, which is getting in contact with your skin, which will even lead to more skin eruptions, more skin reactions.
Yes.
So your cloth is also getting affected. Third,
Correct.
food. See,
Food.
you talk about a metro. Trust me, Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata, which we classically consider as metro, and now we have places
Mm.
like Bangalore, Hyderabad, Pune probably coming up as metro cities. They do
Yes.
not have that indigenous food culture because there's a mixture
Mm.
of culture. So a
Hmm.
person who might prefer to have rice might not be having rice, might be skipping it with a pav or a roti,
Yes.
which is not prepared that hygienically, and at the end I'm paying a higher cost to it as well.
Correct. Hmm.
I might skip my meals, I might not have a quality food, I might not be enjoying what I'm having, but I'm forced to eat. So if you look
Yes.
into the answer to the first question, I would say that the
Hmm.
biggest challenge in metro life is your three basic needs: food, cloth, and shelter. So probably this is the
That's true.
biggest challenge which I
Yes.
feel is there, and which actually is taking a toll on the normal human life.
करेक्ट, यू आर एब्सोल्युटली राइट। रमेश पाल जी, आपको बहुत बहुत गुड इवनिंग हमारी ओर से। सो यू नो, now now understanding diet, you covered one portion as diet, ki diet also plays a very important role. So how do you think diet is, with the all kinds of adulterations and the different kinds of problems in a metro when it comes to, food, how do you think it's affecting the life in general, and what people can do for that?
Okay, I'll just give you a very small picture into probably my life when I was a student. So
Hmm.
I used to come down of my house, take a electric rickshaw, reach the metro
Hmm.
station, and take a metro, reach the place of my
Hmm.
uh, studies or education or
Hmm.
hospital, whatever
Hmm.
you can say. So
Hmm.
in that while, I used to take my breakfast below a shop which was generally located below the metro station. Now, if you
Okay.
classically look at a metro station in Delhi, you would
Hmm.
see it is one of the most unhygienic places because there is a collection of water. You will have a lot of flies, a lot of
Hmm.
mosquitoes. Second,
Hmm.
generally you would see that it's like a running market. So
Hmm.
even the vendors are not ready to give you a good quality of food.
Yes.
It's
Hmm.
like a rolling business because today I am
Hmm.
a customer, tomorrow I might not be a customer. So I am
Hmm.
taking a food which might be
Hmm.
contaminated or which is surely contaminated.
Hmm.
I'm not taking the food of that good quality. Now let us look into the
Hmm.
food choices. Now let us talk about Delhi. See, the
Hmm.
classical breakfast which you would see in Delhi is chole kulche.
Yes.
Now, let's talk about chole kulche. Chole, it's going to have spices.
Yes.
Kulcha, it's flour, maida,
Hmm.
processed flour. It's not even
Correct.
atta. Okay.
Yes. Hmm.
If we know that the moment we take up some spices, we all of us know that the first thing which burns is our upper GI tract. We will have
Hmm.
belching. Okay, that itself
Yes.
tells us that boss, this is not the right food. Now we
Hmm.
know flour, maida, it leads to constipation. So this is the
Correct.
most common diet if you ask me in Delhi at least what I'm going to have.
Hmm.
Now let me
Hmm.
shift base from Delhi to probably Kolkata. The
Hmm.
best breakfast in Kolkata is luchi with aloo ki sabji and with jalebi, sweet
Hmm.
or mishti doi.
Hmm.
Now
Hmm.
look into that. Again, that puri is fried.
Hmm.
I'm taking aloo ki sabji, aloo which generally is having a higher glycemic index, which
Yes.
would lead to an obesity and also would ensure that if I'm diabetic, I'm not supposed to take that aloo.
Hmm.
I'm taking sweets in a very high
Hmm.
dose. Okay,
Yes.
let's shift to Mumbai.
Hmm. Hmm.
You go any time of the day, you will get an ingredient with pav. Now, what is again pav? Pav is bread,
Bread.
and they
Yeah.
are not using a brown bread. It's always white bread, and we again
Yes.
understand that there's high glycemic load.
Hmm.
So again, we're ending up with an unhealthy diet in the morning, or it might be
Correct.
9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, anytime. Now,
Hmm.
if I go to Chennai, I'm probably having idli or dosa, which relatively is bit more hygienic. But again, I am taking sambar, okay,
Hmm.
which being sour is not that good for me to take empty stomach as such. Yes, we have a lot of
Hmm.
research evidence which says rasam is good, but again, let's not get into just a research part to keep it into a common forum. So if you trace the four corners of the four metros of our country, we start with
Hmm.
unhealthy breakfast. Now I take a
Hmm.
breakfast, I reach my workplace, I am supposed to
Hmm.
have a lunch at 1. Now, if we
Hmm.
all are true to all of us, trust me,
Hmm.
90% of days we either skip our lunch or it's never at 1 o'clock. Because
Yes.
the very basic reason is the human tendency in India. At
Mm.
11:30 or 11:45, we will take a tea break. We will have tea.
Yes.
And generally, it goes without saying is if there is a tea, there will be a cigarette smoke in my hand.
Mm.
So
Mm.
my lunch is getting pushed. And again, because I'm traveling such a distance, if I get the food
Mm.
from my home also, it's cold.
Correct.
Even if I heat it, I'll have a limited diet. And it's not a balanced
Mm.
diet. I can have a roti with a
Mm.
sabji.
Mm.
Now, again at the evening when I'm coming back, again because I have to travel almost 1.5 hours, I'll again take
Mm.
in Delhi, momo is very common. Yes,
Yes.
if I go to
Mm.
Mumbai, again it will be something related to pav. If I go
Correct.
to the east, I'll have some kind of like samosa. Again, look
Mm.
into the choices. I do not have a healthy choice. And
Mm.
when I'm back home at 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock,
Mm.
whatever is
Mm.
cooked at my home, if it is cooked, that too, if in metros, generally people have got a greater access to Swiggy, Zomato. So generally, we don't cook it. We actually order the
Yes.
night food. Now, let us trace a
Yes.
24-hour cycle. I didn't
Mm.
have any quality food. It was more of
Mm.
junk, but I paid
Mm.
more. Now, the
Mm.
problem is about the food choices. Now, suppose I am a person
Mm.
who is very conscious with my diet. So, in place of that, I can prefer a banana.
Mm.
But
Mm.
because I'm staying at a metro, the accessibility of fruits is there, but the cost is relatively higher. Second,
Yes.
look into the quality of the fruit which you get because it is not an indigenously produced fruit. Like Delhi does not grow fruits itself. The fruit would be imported either from Kashmir or from
Mm.
probably the central part of the India where we are having
Mm.
a lot of food processing. So we are actually not
Yes.
consuming an organic food. Now, if I
Mm.
switch over to organic, again I pay more. So this is like
Correct.
a vicious cycle where you're
Mm.
forced to have an unhealthy choice. You have one
Mm.
unhealthy choice, you'll have the second, you'll have the third, you'll have the fourth, and it goes on and it goes on. So this is how probably, if you ask me, is the trap of food in a metro. If I compare
Mm.
this with the life what we had at our homes, probably at a rural setup or a two-tier
Mm.
city or even a three-tier city, see, it was mandatory that our mom will prepare a breakfast.
Yes.
We have
That's
never
true.
gone to our school with an
Oh, great.
empty stomach. It has
That's
never
true.
happened. But
Yes.
if you look into Delhi, it's very common.
Yes.
Parents would stand on the chola kulche counter and give the empty tiffin box to the guy. Bhaiya, isme aap chole aur kulche de do. That's what the child is eating. But probably when we were small, it has hardly
We
ever
want to do
happened
it.
that I have gone with an empty tiffin box to my school. Even if my
Yes.
mom would be sick, my father would ensure that I at least take biscuits or a fruit or a banana, which was readily available at home. So you see the food choices have changed.
Hmm. Hmm.
So you see the
That's
food
true.
choices have changed. So that is
Hmm.
one way, if you ask me, is a negative impact of staying in a metro with our food choices.
Hmm. Hmm. That is true. You're absolutely right, and this is the reality. The access to unhealthy food is more than the healthy food, and it is costlier as well. The healthy ones, so you just opt for that. So what do you suggest to all of those people who stay in metro? How can they avoid the temptation of unhealthy food and actually ready, switch towards the healthy ones?
See, Dr. Ayush, if you ask me, we generally read that there's a 21-day challenge. We say if
Hmm.
you practice something for 21 days, it becomes a habit.
That's true.
So those of us who are hearing to this session,
Hmm.
probably, I'm not saying that you do not do it, but plan your next day. Like suppose tomorrow I know that I have to leave at 8. So if I have to leave at
Hmm.
8, I have to leave my home at 7:30. I should prepare something probably the night before.
Hmm.
It might be a very simple upma, a porridge, or even the chole kulche which we are eating outside. I can prepare the chole at my home.
Yes.
In place of kulcha, I can have the roti.
Hmm.
So probably that planning, that's the first thing I would say that the planning would be awesome if I
Hmm.
plan a day prior. Second,
Hmm.
let's look into healthy choices. Now,
Hmm.
generally we say healthy choices are costly. You know why?
Hmm.
Because for us, healthy choice means apple, walnut. Okay. Now, guys, a simple banana is a healthy choice. A egg is a healthy choice. A glass of milk is a healthy choice. And trust me,
Hmm.
the dal which we get at our home is a healthy choice. The
Yes.
curd is a healthy choice. The cucumber is a healthy choice. The papaya is a healthy choice. The watermelon is a healthy choice. You name, I can list you 10 items, which is a healthy choice and which is not at all costly. So it need not be an apple. See, we always say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Trust me,
Hmm.
it's not an apple a day. A mango a day in the summers, in the winters, probably an
Yes.
orange a day. It can be
Hmm.
anything. So probably I start my breakfast with this. Now, coming
Hmm.
to my lunch, see, depending upon the cultural dialect, because all of us are from a different culture, we can again plan our lunch that let's have a curry which is cooked up,
Hmm.
and that
Hmm.
curry is there in my tiffin. I go there, and again to make it as a balanced diet, I can just purchase
Hmm.
a curd box.
Hmm.
Different curd boxes are available across the country: Amul, Omfed, Mother Dairy, anything. I get a curd
Yes.
box. So
Hmm.
a curd, I can have cucumber, I can
Hmm.
have roti or rice, chawal, and a sabji.
Hmm.
In the evening, I know that I will be hungry. Trust me, when I will be coming
Hmm.
back, I will be hungry. So probably
Yes.
my bag can have no need of walnuts, groundnuts, simple groundnuts.
Hmm.
Okay, I can have chana, which is a very good
Hmm.
source of protein.
Yes. Hmm.
I can have a glass of lassi, which has been
Hmm.
prepared at my home with a low sugar,
Correct.
or I can have chas.
Hmm.
Not even that, I can get a glass of milk that fills
Hmm.
my stomach, which is there for the travel time, a transit time of one and
Hmm.
a half hours or 1 hour.
Hmm.
Or probably the
Hmm.
moment I'm at home, if I am not having the stamina, the vegetable which I cooked in the morning, I can utilize that. Or if I've cooked,
Hmm.
I can have a fresh diet. But see,
Hmm.
this ensured zero junk. Zero junk.
Correct.
And this
Correct.
just requires a planning a day prior, nothing more.
Hmm.
If I'm a non-vegetarian, I can have chicken, I can have
Hmm.
mutton, I can have fish. See, as doctors, we are very stringent to tell you mutton is not good for heart. Trust me,
Hmm.
anything what you cook at your home with less
It's good.
spices and oil, everything is good. Everything is
Correct.
good if you cook at your home because you know
Hmm.
the flavor or the taste what you want to have. So
Hmm.
my mantra to all of the people listening over here is plan your next day.
Hmm.
So that will help you to have a healthy food choice and take a 21-day challenge. Just note down
Hmm.
on a piece of paper. And these days we are having phones, we are having excellent apps. You can just
Yes.
log into app and put up whatever the food choices you have. 21 days and
Hmm.
trust me, you're gone. Now, just to
Hmm.
add a very valid point over here, see, when you talk about metros, especially Delhi, it's very hot.
Hmm.
The moment
Yes.
it's hot, we generally have a tendency to have a thirst.
Correct.
We look for water. The
Yes.
biggest problem is we never carry a bottle. The moment
Hmm.
I have a flask, a small flask, a Milton, Borosil, any company you talk about, you just have a 500 ml flask. I'm not asking you to have a 1 liter flask. Let
Hmm.
that be empty. But wherever you get a chance, just refill it with the water and just drink.
Hmm.
See, the
Hmm.
very basic difference between a glass of water
Hmm.
and a Coca-Cola is a Coca-Cola gives you a shot of sugar,
Yes.
which is equivalent to the entire day shot of sugar. Whereas
Correct.
Coca-Cola won't quench your thirst.
Yes.
Now, the reason I take a Coca-Cola is just 10 rupees. It's absolutely chilled. It's sweet, so it tastes good. But if I prefer a orange juice in place of that, that will cost me 50 rupees. The amount
Hmm.
is less because the Coca-Cola is a 300 ml bottle, whereas orange juice will be 150 ml. Now, just forget all this. Just take a glass of water. That's all. Suppose
Correct.
you are actually a person who likes to have sweetened drinks.
Hmm.
Just take lemon with
Hmm.
you, a knife, cut it,
Hmm.
use a sugar free or
Hmm.
absolutely less than sugar. Your job is done.
Hmm.
That is
That's
where
true.
I would ask all of you to be very careful about your sweetened drink intake because that goes up a lot. That goes up a lot. And we do not realize that because we are actually not bothered yet. We don't think. And trust me, any drink available in the market, I'm not just talking about Coca-Cola or Pepsi or Fruity, and I'm not talking about a brand. You look into any drink, it has a lot of sugar. So that small choice can be made with a simple 500 ml bottle which is carried with you, and it should not be a plastic bottle. The very basic reason is plastic bottles are not good as such because they have BPLs, bisphospholactones. Yes, the bottles like this Bisleri. The reason they said crush after use is because this is not a reusable plastic. and especially the water which we get at our home is chlorinated. So the chlorine in the water reacts with this particular bottle. That's the reason it says crush after use. So rather than getting a plastic bottle, just get a 500 ml bottle, because you love that also. You would always be careful that I didn't miss out the bottle, and keep it, refill it with water. You want to add some taste to it, probably a lemon, a bit of tinge of salt, a sugar, job done. You need not even buy something either healthy or unhealthy. You need not even spend for it. So that is one way where you again plan for this.
You're absolutely right, sir. The thing is key, we just need to plan and look forward for healthier choices around us. But adding into, what you mentioned about sweetened drinks, a lot of times people actually, some strata of people who are working in the sun all day actually look forward to have sweetened drinks just to have that rush of energy, or maybe have a extra sweetened tea, or something with extra sweet. The idea of having extra sugary tea is also that only, that people look forward to have sugar to have that energy rush. What do you suggest for that?
See, if I'm looking into energy rush, trust me,
Hmm.
I prefer to have a banana, because that gives you more energy than any other thing, and it's healthy.
Hmm.
Second, it's fruit sugar. It's not sugar. If I break down into sugar, there are different types of. We have sucrose, we have lactose, we have glucose.
Hmm.
The sugar which
Hmm.
we take, it is basically glucose,
Hmm.
whose glycemic index is very high. But when we
That's true.
take a fruit, it is fructose.
Hmm.
So the glycemic index of fructose is relatively less. So it
Yes.
makes me more healthier. Now,
Correct.
that's one way to look into it.
Hmm.
Second, suppose I want to just add upon sugar
Hmm.
just to get energy. The other
Hmm.
way to get energy is, why not to take protein?
Hmm.
Protein in way of, like in Bihar they use a lot of sattu, which is a protein powder actually. So it's
Hmm.
chana which is crushed. It's protein powder.
Yes. Correct.
We can have
Hmm.
that. The second
Hmm.
way is to have curd, to have it in form of lassi,
Correct. Hmm.
because
Hmm.
it does have sugar. It does have sugar, but
Yes.
it's not having that much sugar. Because see, trust
Yes.
me, if you actually go out and tell people that a Coca-Cola or a Pepsi or a Thumbs Up has got 10 spoons of sugar
Hmm.
versus a lassi which has 1 spoon of sugar, trust me, the
Hmm.
next day people will quit taking Coca-Cola.
Correct.
So this is
That's true.
where we need to educate the people that, see, there is a healthy option available. It's just that we need to make that choice. So
That's
that's
true.
where I would like to tell people to just modify it.
That's true. No, that's really helpful. So now, apart from diets, living in a metro also deals with a lot of mental turmoil. A lot of stress, a lot of competition, and that also leads to your, difficulty in managing a healthy lifestyle in a metro. So if you can, help in that sense as well.
I'll just share my experience of yesterday. Yesterday,
Hmm.
actually, I was out for work. I returned back around 1 a.m. in the night, and in the
Hmm.
morning again I had to reach the office at 9 o'clock. And a very hectic day in the office. 7 o'clock I was back, and again I had to go for some social gathering. So I boarded the metro at 8 o'clock, and I had to travel
Hmm.
for 1 hour. That
Hmm.
1 hour was my me time,
Hmm.
where I actually was trying to give my mental health a positive thumbs up. So, staying in metro, you will have a lot of stress. But the best place where you can add to your mental health is the time of travel. See, when you travel in metro, you will have 1 hour to go, 1 hour to come back, or it might vary slightly. That is one time where you can actually do your thing what you like. Now, I'll give you a very simple example. There are people who love to read books. There are people who love to see YouTube videos. There are people who love to see an OTT series. There are people who love to chit chat on phone. You would remember there was a very popular ad by Abhishek Bachchan few years back for Idea, walk the talk. So that's the way you actually de-stress yourself, because you're traveling. You can just talk while you're on the go. So that travel time, if you ask me, is the best way to give you a daily rejuvenation, because When you are at a metro, I cannot ask you that, okay, you take out a cycle and cycle for 2 hours and then come back, get ready, and then go. If that's the case, then you have to wake up at 4 o'clock because you would be sleeping at night 1 o'clock. It's impossible that you wake up at 4 o'clock and you go. So you need to incorporate your bit of enjoyment in your routine. Those who
Correct.
drive cars, probably
Hmm.
a nice music while driving can make your
Yes.
life beautiful. Because generally
Correct.
you would see Delhi, we are stuck in the traffic for a very long time. Bangalore, we are
Yes.
stuck in a traffic for a very long time. Why can't we have
Hmm.
a beautiful music being played,
Hmm.
something that suits me? And again, it varies. Someone
Hmm.
might prefer a peppy number, someone might prefer a classical music, someone might prefer instrumental music, someone might
Hmm.
even prefer the TED Talks, might
Hmm.
prefer a talks, TED Talks, what we are doing today, someone might prefer to listen that. So that's where I would say that let's just incorporate our deal of enjoyment on a daily
Hmm.
basis. See,
Hmm. Hmm.
whatever be our age, the child inside us is always alive.
बिल्कुल. Hmm.
What feeds the child is enjoyment.
Hmm.
That
Hmm.
enjoyment
Hmm.
can only come up in a daily routine. So
Hmm.
my take home message is whatever you guys are doing at whatever strata you are, the travel time should be your time, your me time, where you actually enjoy. And you will get two travel times in the morning and in the evening. You cannot have a better enjoyment or de-stressing time than this. Because we say go to Shimla, go to Manali, go to Ooty. See, those look very good, yes. But in Indian context, it's once in 3 months, once in six
Yes.
months, once in 12
That's
months,
true.
and probably for people, once in 3 years. And that's the concept LTC, which comes in government, they say once in 3 years. LTC is not
Yes.
on yearly basis. So even the government understands that in Indian work culture, the tourism is not a good answer for de-stressing.
De-stressing.
So
Hmm.
yeah. So probably put it into your daily routine and you'll love it.
No, no, this is a fantastic, thing to share. People don't think about it very, often as a de-stressing time when it comes to traveling. एंड महावीर जी भी सर आपको यही बोल रहे हैं कि सादर अभिवादन आपका स्वास्थ्य जागरूकता अभियान द्वारा इतनी महत्वपूर्ण जानकारी प्रदान करने के लिए आपकी पूरी टीम का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद बहुत सराहनीय काम कर रहे हैं आप सो थैंक यू सो मच सर फॉर योर फीडबैक ऑन दिस सो नाउ सर अंडरस्टैंडिंग कि हम किस तरीके से अपना मेंटल हेल्थ और स्ट्रेस कम कर सकते हैं बाय स्पेंडिंग अ बिट ऑफ मी टाइम ऑन अस do you suggest so there are a lot of people who say that there are you need to apart from your traveling time there needs to be some time with exercise meditation and a lot of other things are also coming regularly are being spoken about what do you your take on that
See, Dr. Ayushi, if we can do, I really appreciate that. See,
hmm.
the benefit of metros is we have got things like cult fit, we have things like
Yes.
probably that swimming things, we have sports,
Hmm.
we have dance classes, we have painting
Yeah,
classes, guitar
everything.
classes.
Yes.
See, if we can, we should be doing it. But again, the
Hmm.
word comes if we can, because
Correct.
this is out of my routine. This is not in my
Hmm.
routine. See,
That's true.
as a doctor, Dr. Ayushi, I understand if I ask you that, doctor, if I give you a chance not to see patients for 1 hour and rather you hit the gym, you'll say, sir, I'm a doctor, please let me see the patient.
Yes.
The
That's
patient
true.
is a priority for me. We would be
Hmm.
advising to the patient that you need to go hit the gym. But as doctors, we are ourselves hardly hit the gym. And that's the
Correct.
reality for every profession. I'm not talking only
Hmm.
about the medical profession. Talk about any
Hmm.
person, a person working in a multinational company.
Hmm.
Talk about a person who's working in a bank. See, those days are
Hmm.
gone where we used to think that bank is something that आप 10:30 बजे जाओ काउंटर पे लगा होगा जी आज तो लिंक डाउन है पूरा दिन छुट्टी है शाम तक हम घर जा रहे हैं. This
Hmm.
does not happen.
Hmm.
Now you talk about
Hmm.
any banks, they are on the go. They are 24/7.
Yes. Yes.
Any
That's
profession,
true.
it is generally not possible to put up these things if you're a working professional. If you're a
Hmm.
working student, see,
Hmm.
students, it's not that they're just going to a school. These days, because of the competitive exams, the students are right into the stream right from their childhood. We are
Correct.
seeing kids now learning coding right from the age 4 or 5.
Correct.
That way,
Hmm.
I don't think probably that should be the prime answer, that we think that we'll do an exercise apart from it. Probably again it should
Hmm.
come to your routine. Like I'll give you a very simple example. Suppose I'm a
Hmm.
person who loves to go to the gym.
Hmm.
Now, I should, if I'm taking a metro, I should prefer to take the stairs.
Hmm.
I should be able to carry some weights, which probably I can do a lifting exercise while I'm traveling.
Hmm.
So those are things which are intrinsic.
Hmm.
Now, the very basic reason is, again, it's very difficult to suggest someone that wake up at 4 o'clock, go to a gym or go to a swimming class, come back, get ready, go to the office, come back from the office, again hit the gym. It's not possible,
That's true.
because the offices are also not that easy. They have their own intrinsic stress. We are dealing with lots and lots of targets.
Hmm.
So that way, if someone thumbs up, I'm proud of you because you are making a real difference. But it's very difficult, my dear friend. It's so I would not just suggest it for suggesting to hit any of these different profiles. If you can, it's
Yes.
great. Otherwise, incorporate it into your daily routine. That's all.
That's true. So, sir, Ramesh Palji Singh, sir, bhi hame yehi, he's also adding that we can have some exercise and meditation for half an hour, which is good for your stress and immunity. That is true.
Absolutely, agree with
Yes.
Ramesh.
So, sir, now understanding most of the people who shift to metro are mostly alone with, from their cities with no families around. What do you suggest them? Do you suggest them to create a support system for themselves, you know, for for themselves, for their mental stress, for their, mental well-being, as well as to build a overall healthy lifestyle for them? What do you suggest them?
See, Dr. Aisha, over here, if you ask me, there was a movie by Salman Khan where he had told that you help three people, they will help three, they will help three, they will help three. Now, if you
Hmm.
ask me, for any person who is actually migrating to a metro, I will say at least have three people in your life whom you can call 24/7, 365 days if you are in dire need. Because
Hmm.
in metro, there can be different kinds of need. You
Correct.
might end up where you have forgot to switch off your gas, where
Hmm.
you have forgot that you have to switch on the motor last night so you don't have a water at your house. You don't have a milk packet at your home and the shops are closed. You might fall sick, because we saw that during the time of COVID. Many of the people were isolated at their homes for 14 days and there was no one to even take care of. Yes. So probably my answer would be, at least get three of people with whom you are actually loyal. You are loyal to them, they are loyal to you. Probably that's the best support system you can create. And that can easily happen. It might not be your neighbor, it might be your workplace colleague as well. It might be your better half, it might be some of your relatives, some of your cousins, some of your school friends, anyone. But at least three people should be there. And the reason I'm saying three is, suppose one is busy, because in metro the travel time is very high. So if one is caught up, the other two might will be available to help you out. If two are caught up, at least one is there. If three are caught
Hmm.
up, then 100 to 100 to take help. That's the only way you can get and
Hmm.
help that case.
That's true. That's true. Having a backup and people who can help you at any time is always of immense value. So now understanding this, what is it that there initially you suggested that there is sleep deprivation also, which is a very big factor, which affects the mental, the lifestyle in a metro. How do you help people with poor sleep patterns and difficulty in sleeping otherwise also? What do you suggest them, how they can get over this sleep turmoil?
Okay. See, let us first talk about the sleep quantity. See, we say for an average Indian human, the sleep quantity ranges from 6 to 8 hours. This is as per the guideline given by the National Institute of Nutrition for reference Indian human, where they say 6 to 8 hours of sleep is mandatory. Now, this is about the quantity. Now, we talk about the quality of sleep. Generally, the sleep patterns, there is one which is called as sleep latency. I go to the bed, but I take probably a couple of hours to sleep. The biggest
Correct.
reason of this is mobile use. Why at the time of
Hmm.
sleep? Generally,
Hmm.
there are people who love to use the mobile. It might be Instagram, it might be Tinder, it might be talking to someone on the phone. That
Hmm.
actually, because when you switch off your light and your phone screen is on, your phone screen gives you a very high intensity of light. That
Correct.
leads to increased intensity.
Hmm.
There are people who have early awakening, means they would
Yes.
get awake at 4 o'clock. but probably they
Hmm.
would get up from the bed at 6:30. They want to get up at the bed from 6:30. Now those who
Hmm.
have early awakening, the best idea
Hmm.
for them is the moment you're awake, get up and exercise. The moment you exercise,
Hmm.
you will start feeling drowsy. So you might not sleep
Hmm.
on that day, but on the next day, you will gradually
Yes.
develop a good sleep pattern. So for
Hmm.
sleep, probably these are important things which you look into. So quantity wise,
Hmm.
6 to 8 hours. Quality wise,
Hmm.
just avoid mobile use before you are actually sleeping. Now, one factor
Hmm.
probably what I missed out in this is generally we have sleep issues because again our body is fatigued. Because of this
Hmm.
travel and hard time, you will see our muscles are sore. So one
Hmm.
easy way to do it probably is when we come back, we actually take hot water, put a pinch of salt,
Hmm.
and dip our
Hmm.
legs for 30 minutes. You will have that relaxation. Or
Hmm.
sleep with couple of pillows with your leg end raised.
Hmm.
Those are small ways actually in which you can actually reduce the spasm of your body.
Hmm.
There are some people who are pill poppers. A bit
Hmm.
of pain, they will take a paracetamol. दर्द की
Hmm.
गोली खा लेते हैं. That is absolutely not advisable. Absolutely not
Hmm.
advisable. So वो नहीं होना चाहिए. Plus, you should be knowing your triggers. There are people who suffer from migraine. उनको पता है कि
Hmm.
कॉफी पीने से migraine होएगा. So
Hmm.
let's skip up with CCD. Let's skip up with Starbucks. Let's not be that selfish to take up those. So that way, probably you should be able to know your sleep pattern. Everyone has got a different sleep pattern. Trust me on that. And see, people say early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. See, this slogan probably goes true for kids. In
Hmm.
our childhood, probably this way. But at metro, once you're working, you cannot have this because all of us are having a different work pattern.
Correct.
And also the time when you're active on your phone, probably you can set up a time as 8 to 8, 7 to 7, 7 to 9, and after that you don't pick up calls
Yes.
unless only it's that urgent. If someone texts you, yes, guy, I'm dying, probably that's when I'm going to reply it. So that will actually
Hmm.
help you to improve your sleep. A
Hmm.
strict for people who actually think that if their sleep is disturbed, they immediately visit a psychiatrist. Now,
Hmm.
guys, please try to understand the year 2017, WHO told depression, let's talk. So, rather, I would like to remove the word depression. I'll rather like to put stress or mental stress. Let's talk. It's not let's treat. Generally, people are so impatient. They want the treatment. हम एक नींद की गोली खाएंगे और पटाख हम सो गए. वो तो आप एक दिन के लिए सो गए ना. लेकिन आपके दिमाग में जो प्रॉब्लम है वो तो अभी भी है. That is not going to let you sleep. So that way, I guess you need to be a bit careful about this.
No, you're right. Small efforts, small things put together can actually help us to to work on our sleep patterns as well as a healthy lifestyle. So now, what are the some lesser known factors that can contribute to unhealthy lifestyle in a metro, and how they can be addressed? Some everyday small things that you think should be done for a healthy lifestyle.
Okay. There's a young gentleman who stays just below my apartment. He is just young at 70, and
Hmm.
he's a bodybuilder. He told me a very good thing once.
Hmm.
नींद आपके हेल्थ का दुश्मन है. सो आई कुड नॉट
Hmm.
अंडरस्टैंड. आई सेड अंकल आप क्या बताना चाह रहे हैं. उन्होंने बोला बेटा
Hmm.
अगर तुम अपना नींद कॉम्प्रोमाइज करके 1 घंटे भी एक्सरसाइज कर पाओ तो वो तुम्हें ज्यादा
Hmm.
हेल्दी रखेगा. So the
Hmm.
first thing I would say is have a proper sleep pattern. It may be 12 to 6
Hmm.
or 12 to 7. The moment
Hmm.
you wake up, if possible, just meditate or do a small bit of exercise. Plan your next
Hmm.
day where you plan your food so your food is ready.
Yes.
Try to walk as much as possible. Go for the stairs rather than hitting the lift. Because the
Hmm.
biggest benefit of metros is they're all air conditioned. In Delhi, in Mumbai, in Chennai, in Kolkata,
Hmm.
we have recently introduced with the air conditioned coaches. So even if
Yes.
you took up some 50 stairs and you're panting, you're actually going to enter into an AC coach. So
Correct.
you would not have that. Put up a mobile alarm at every hour so that the
Hmm.
moment it goes beeps, you gulp a glass of water.
Hmm.
Keep yourself hydrated. Make healthy choices. Take a 21-day challenge. Especially the
Correct.
only one thing I would ask you to avoid is sugary drinks.
Hmm.
Second, an unhealthy breakfast. Probably these two, if you skip, your job is done.
Hmm. Hmm. Correct.
Integrate your enjoyment or me time in your routine travel time. Come
Hmm.
back home, spend the time with your family, cook the food, and probably plan to sleep. So just
Hmm.
keep away your phone. One of my patients, they were a group of judges from the Supreme Court. Now,
Okay.
the oldest chap was almost 62 or 63. He had made a rule that when the family members come into the house, they had a box at the entrance where they had to drop their mobile phone.
That should
And
happen.
once they're in, none of them is going to use a mobile. So if a
Hmm.
Supreme Court judge can do this, we are very simple people. We can definitely
Yeah,
abide by that. So,
that's
so
true.
we should not be giving excuses that it's very important for us. We
Hmm.
so that's those are small changes probably we can do in the next 21 days. So probably today when we are listening to or discussing this, probably we are there on the 3rd of May. So probably by the
Hmm.
24th or 25th of May, if someone is actually interested, can actually change the way they live. So
Hmm.
that is going to make an impact, I guess.
That's true. That's true. No, you have shared so many small, small tips and tricks for anybody who is living in metro to have a healthy lifestyle. What do you think? How can this long term following of this healthy lifestyle change the health pattern completely for a individual, and how do you think it can affect the quality of life?
Dr. Ashi, I'll just tell you one thing. I love sweets.
Hmm.
But I see many patients who are diabetic and who cannot even take a bit of sweet. Trust
Correct.
me, those of you who are having an unhealthy lifestyle, please come and visit me. I'll take you through my patients. The next day, you
Hmm.
will change your lifestyle because you will see people who do not care for their lifestyle land up into diabetes and are unable to take
Hmm.
sweets,
Hmm.
land up into hypertension, unable to take
Hmm.
McDonald's or spicy food,
Hmm.
land up into hemiplegia. Hemiplegia is basically paralysis because they do
Paralysis.
not take the medicines on time and they're
Yes.
unable to walk. They're unable to do things on their own. So at least once you see that, trust me, none of you ever will be interested to have an unhealthy lifestyle. See, you must have seen whenever we go to a movie hall, they play that video of smoking and showing a person from XYZ
Cancer.
strata who suffers
Yes.
from a cancer.
Hmm.
The reason they
Hmm.
show us is just to make us realize that even
Hmm.
we could land up into that.
That's true.
So things is we should not have an ostrich phenomenon thinking that no हमें तो नहीं होगा ये. Trust me, we all are humans and diabetes और hypertension कभी ये देख के नहीं होता कि आपकी एजुकेशन क्या है या आपका प्रोफेशनल लाइफ क्या है या स्टेचर क्या है आप कितना पैसा कमाते हो इस कुछ भी नहीं किसी को भी हो सकता है. So
That's
if you
true.
want to actually enjoy till the age you die, and trust me, now the
Hmm.
life expectancy in India is 70, and by the time
Hmm.
probably we will be touching that it will be 80. So at least I
Correct.
want that till 70 or 75. If I want to eat a mango, I can eat it without any fear, rather than
Yes.
thinking that no, I won't have it because it will shoot up my glycemic index because
Hmm.
I am a person who is diabetic. So probably that
Hmm.
should not happen.
Hmm.
So at least let's play it for a longer run. Let's play it like a test match, not like a T20 innings.
That's true. That's true. No, no,
So,
this is adding this really gives a push for you to lead and eat something till the last day of your life, maybe. So now, the way you have explained your entire, the how can a person. Lastly, I want to ask, I'm sure while discussing everything with us, you are leading a healthy lifestyle. So, how do you think it has changed your life from the days when you were not until now? If you can share your personal experience.
okay. Dr. Ashi, see, I'll share you my own personal experience with few things. My mother was a diabetic, was a hypertensive, was a patient who had hypercholesterolemia,
Hmm.
whereas she was a pure vegetarian,
Hmm.
a non-smoker, a non-alcoholic. She had food at our home always.
Hmm.
It was never that she used to have food from outside, but it
Hmm.
was familiar. Basically, it runs in our genes also to a very big extent,
Hmm.
and that's one of the reason why I also developed hypercholesterolemia. And this I came to know when I was in my second year MBBS. So in my second year
Okay.
MBBS, like routinely we give our samples in pathology for
Yes.
testing.
Hmm.
We
Hmm.
were excited, okay, you take my sample. So at that time,
Hmm.
my cholesterol levels had come at 650.
Okay.
650. Whereas the normal cholesterol level is 150.
Yes,
So my
that's true.
medicine resident's first question was, भाई तू कितना फूक रहा है, कितना पी रहा है? मैंने, are you smoking and
Hmm.
drinking so much? I said, sir, I'm an
Hmm.
pure non-alcoholic, pure
Hmm.
non-smoker. I do
Hmm.
take non-veg, but it's
Hmm.
occasional at home. I don't eat outside like that. So he
Hmm.
said, नहीं नहीं नहीं, एक बार ना अपने parents का check कराना. ठीक है कराया. So
Hmm.
my mom that time came out to be hypercholesteremic. So it was a
Hmm.
familiar hypercholesteremia.
Hmm.
Now I'm talking
Hmm.
about the year 2007 when I was in second year MBBS.
Hmm.
15 years, 2007 to 2022, I
Hmm.
maintained strict lifestyle modifications of exercise,
Hmm.
of not eating oily food outside, not taking non-veg outside. I am non-vegetarian. I take non-veg at my
Hmm.
home.
Hmm.
Okay. Not having alcohol, not having smoking. 15
Hmm.
years, I was able to control it, including diet.
Wow.
But
Hmm.
6 months back, I tested. The
Hmm.
cholesterol levels were still high because I got a xanthelasma in on my eyes. So this is an indication that
Okay.
your cholesterol levels are high. So
Ah,
that's where it triggered that no, now my lifestyle is not going to change it. I need to switch over to medication. So
correct. Hmm.
15 years I pushed my familial disease
Hmm.
into modifying lifestyle, and now I'm taking medicine. I'm not denying
Yes,
you that. But the first step comes with the lifestyle modification.
that's true.
That's one. Now coming to
Hmm.
second,
Hmm.
hair loss. Because I've got a familial history of hair loss, that was one. But more than
Hmm.
that, when I came to Delhi, actually in Delhi there's a lot of hard water.
Hmm.
That led to a lot of hair loss.
Hmm.
The only mistake what I did was I was like, who bothers? Whereas if at that time I would have actually made an effort, because one of my friend used to do it. My friend
Hmm.
used to take the water from the drinking water RO and then put it
Hmm.
on the head so that the hard water does not hit the head.
Hmm.
So, see, hair loss is only an aesthetic component, but it also matters to us. So, that's the
Yes,
second
it
thing.
does.
If you ask me at a
Hmm.
personal level.
It
Third,
psychologically affects you. Hmm.
yeah, third,
Hmm.
even today, I have got a very bad habit to hit 10,000 steps in a day
Hmm. Hmm.
because I've got that fitness ring going up in my mobile. So, now it
Hmm.
gives me a very good kick. Okay, boss,
Hmm.
आज तो hit नहीं हुआ है ना, अभी करना है. तो चाहे वो रात में
Hmm.
9 भी बज जाएगा, I will ensure that I hit the fitness ring.
Hmm.
So I don't have a very good muscle mass. I have never gone to the gym, trust me, because I have never could find out a time to do it.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
I ensure that I'm on a healthy weight range.
Hmm.
See, ups and downs. I'm a common person. I'm not a
Hmm.
Bollywood celebrity or a fitness freak. But as a common
Hmm.
person, I'm trying to just modify these lifestyles to keep myself healthy. Food,
Hmm.
I'm very strict. दिन में अगर एक बार बाहर खाना खाया तो बाकी दो
Hmm.
दिन तक घर पे ही खाना है because
Hmm.
bahar khana ho hi jata hai because we travel. See, now I'm not at my home. I'm traveling. So I'm out. So I have to have a hotel
Yes.
food. I can't skip that. So I ensured
Hmm.
that today morning, at least when I was coming out of my house, I wanted to have a bowl of fruits.
Hmm.
So those are small things which I have done as an individual to actually keep myself healthy. And
Hmm.
in this, I'll also tell you, Dr. Ayushi, just 15 days back, I went to a dentist for a routine dental checkup. Actually, I wanted
Hmm.
to get my teeth cleaned
Cleaned. Hmm.
because when I was a student, I had read in forensic that every 6 months you should get your teeth cleaned because that
That's
leads
true.
to the damage to the enamel. I had read it
Hmm.
as a student. So right from
Becomes.
there, I
Hmm.
used to have a habit
Hmm.
every 6 months I should do it. So
Hmm.
when I went to this doctor, she asked me, "Sir, what is your complaint?" I said, "Ma'am, I don't have any complaint." She said, "Why are you here?" I told, "Ma'am, I'm here because I have come for a routine dental checkup and
Hmm.
I have to clean my teeth." She stared at me and she said, "What do you do?" I said, "I'm a doctor." I was astonished to hear she told, "You are the first doctor or the rarest of the rarest person who has come for a routine checkup."
Yes, that does not
That too
happen
for
in India.
that does not happen in India. The very basic reason is, why I am telling you this again comes from my family experience only. Because my father
Hmm.
has already crossed 60, so he is
Hmm.
slowly losing dentures. So even if
Hmm.
the most tasty food is cooked, he says that please cook it more or boil it more because I'm unable to chew it.
Correct.
So I don't want to end up at 60 or at 55 that I love chicken probably or I love soya chop, okay, and I can't
Hmm.
chew it. So for
Hmm.
that, did just one thing. Every 6 months, visit a dentist. Twice a day, use a toothbrush to clean your teeth. And the only thing
Hmm.
I learned is when you clean your teeth, you go clockwise and then you go anti-clockwise. Now,
Yes.
this is not some rocket science, but actually,
Correct.
this was told to me. This was told to me by a dentist that this is how you normally routinely clean your teeth. See, there are many
Hmm.
ways. There might be a technical way, but this is a very simple way actually to keep my teeth healthy.
Correct.
So these are things, if you ask me, at a personal level, I am doing to keep myself fit. Rest, I do not know what the future holds true, but yes, definitely, I'm trying to keep myself fit because at the end, if I won't have a healthy body, I would never enjoy anything.
That's true. That's
So
true.
that's
No,
the way I lead
it's
my life.
thank you so much, Dr. Siddharth, for sharing your experience of how do you keep yourself healthy and understanding that there are a lot of diseases that everybody carries genetically and hereditarily, and to take care of them in advance by just taking small steps, by leading a healthy lifestyle and mm, eating good food, maintaining proper habits, right habits for yourself, can actually delay maximum of them and take you to the edge of or maybe your entire life as well if you have good lifestyle. So please please share this talk with maximum people as you can, because something like this is very important for today's lifestyle, for every new generation as well as older people. Maybe I believe the older people still follow their good lifestyle, but the new generation are so early exposed to all of those bad habits that it's difficult for them to switch to the healthy ones. So please do share with them. They will understand how important it is to follow the healthy habits early in their life to lead a healthy lifestyle. So thank you so much, Dr. Siddharth, for joining us today. And just a small certificate of appreciation from our end for your contribution today.
Thank you, Dr. Ayushi. And just to
Yes.
conclude, I had just one point to make. To
Yes.
all the audience who are listening to this particular
Mm,
talk between me and Dr.
mm,
Ayushi, guys, I am a allopathy doctor.
yes.
With God's grace, I'm trained at AIMS Delhi. So
Correct.
if you ask me, if you see in the last 50 minutes what me and Dr. Ayushi talked, we didn't tell you or I didn't tell you anything about any medicine.
Mm,
And probably many of you who would be listening to this, you would be expecting that I would have advised you some medicine for a healthy life. Trust me, for a healthy life, you don't need a medicine. You need medicine for an unhealthy life.
mm,
So please don't get into that unhealthy zone where you actually need medicine. It's better to have a
correct.
healthy life. And for healthy life,
Mm,
small choices which are actually going to taste to your taste buds awesome.
mm, mm,
Those are the choices what we have discussed. So guys, to have a
yes.
healthy life, you need not do a lot of effort. Trust me, you can have all the parties you want to have in your life till
Mm,
till you are die at probably 70 or 80 or 90, but do
mm,
not party so much that at the age of 40 you actually
mm,
stop enjoying your life. In the next 30 or 40 years which you are
mm,
alive, you live it with the
mm,
life of a burden. So probably don't do that.
yes. 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 That's true. And we are honestly, Dr. Siddharth, we are immensely happy to have you here to discuss these small things that are easily implementable, but you don't find anybody around reminding you about these and pointing it out. So it's very important for you to remind yourself regularly things like this in your busy lifestyle, so that you can actually lead a healthy life with the kind of you know life you want to lead in a longer run, because we always focus on our careers or our family, but not on ourselves. So everybody who are listening to us, please do follow what Dr. Siddharth is saying, and actually I'm repeating it again, please share it so that maximum people follow it and lead a healthy lifestyle. So thank you so much, Dr. Siddharth, for joining us today. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today at Dr. KK Med Talks. This is all for today's episode. Do join us again on our next Dr. KK's episode. I will be back next Wednesday discussing again a very interesting topic. So thank you so much, Dr. Siddharth. Thank you so much, everyone.